아, 나 너무 진짜 재밌었어요.
재밌었어요?
네.
또 가요?
난 가고 싶어. 저랑 같이 살아야 돼요, 사실.
그러면 태영이 집에서
잠깐, 그러면 형들이랑 좀 내가
이런 얘기 와서 그런데 룸을 안 갔고
홀에서
그러니까 거의 10년 전에
그러면 좋아요.
전 온 동물 밈? 고양이가 주먹을 날리고 있다던지 나 그거 좋아해.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Just when BTS fans thought they'd seen almost every moment between Jungkook and Jimin, a recent live broadcast sparked a new and even more heated discussion within the ARMY community. During a GQ live session that initially seemed relaxed and filled with laughter, many fans began to notice something a little different than usual. It wasn't the awkward atmosphere, nor was it the odd conversation, but rather Jungkook's subtle expressions, which many fans felt clearly indicated annoyance or at least discomfort. At the beginning of the broadcast, everything seemed normal. Jungkook and Jimin had the warm energy fans had seen over the years. They joked, smiled, and answered questions in their characteristically relaxed manner. However, as time went on, some viewers began to notice that Jungkook occasionally glanced off camera. His expression changed several times, and these small moments became the subject of in-depth analysis among fans. For some who only watched briefly, it might seem like nothing out of the ordinary. But for ARMY who have followed the dynamics of Jungkook and Jimin's relationship for years, even the slightest change in expression can be significant. They began slowing down the video, replaying specific seconds, and trying to understand what was really happening behind the scenes. One of the most talked about moments occurred when Jungkook appeared as if he was about to say something to Jimin, but then stopped and looked away. A few seconds later, his expression changed to a slightly blank one. Many fans felt that the moment resembled someone holding back a reaction. Speculation began to emerge. Some believed that the production staff might have given specific instructions during the broadcast. Others suspected that there might have been some arrangement in the show's positioning or format that prevented Jungkook and Jimin from interacting as freely as usual. This then fueled the theory that the staff might have intentionally tried to separate the two during the broadcast. For fans who have long followed the dynamic often referred to as Jikook, the idea of them being separated on a show isn't entirely new. On several occasions before, fans have felt that their interactions were limited by the show's format or camera setup. But was that really happening on this GQ live broadcast? Or was it just the interpretation of a fan who was paying too much attention to detail? What made this situation even more intriguing was how Jungkook's reaction seemed so subtle, yet still felt real. He didn't show any overt anger, but his facial expressions made many people feel like something was bothering him. Some ARMY even noted that Jungkook looked slightly frustrated at certain moments. They pointed to the way he took a breath, the way he looked at the staff, and the way he then tried to smile again for the camera. For some, these were just normal expressions of someone who was in a long live broadcast. But for others, it seemed like a reaction to something happening off camera. Jimin himself seemed to keep the atmosphere light. He continued to smile, joke around, and try to keep the conversation flowing. However, some fans felt that Jimin also noticed Jungkook's changes in expression. There were brief moments when he glanced at Jungkook as if trying to read the situation. Small interactions like these only made fans more convinced that there was an interesting dynamic going on behind the scenes. Many believe that the bond between Jimin and Jungkook is so strong that they can understand each other even through brief expressions. Since their debut with BTS, the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin has always been one of the most closely watched dynamics by fans. From their rigorous training as trainees to their world tours to their various variety shows, the two often seem to have a very natural chemistry. Many moments show how supportive they are of each other. Jungkook is often seen looking after Jimin in a very protective manner, while Jimin often shows tender affection for Jungkook. This combination makes many fans feel that their relationship has a very strong emotional depth. That's why, when there's even the slightest difference, fans immediately notice. In the case of GQ Live, many felt that Jungkook's expression was no coincidence. Short clips from the broadcast began circulating quickly on social media. Fans created video compilations highlighting every moment where Jungkook was they were seen looking at staff or changing their facial expressions. The discussion evolved into various theories. Some fans tried to be more rational. They said that live broadcasts often involve a lot of technical instructions that artists must follow. Sometimes staff need to give direct directions during the broadcast, and this can make the artists appear slightly distracted for a few seconds.
디올쇼도 괜찮더라.
감사합니다.
요즘 우리 다 그렇게
디오쇼 한 것도 그
However, another group of fans felt that there was more going on than just technical instructions. They believed there might be an attempt to control certain interactions during the broadcast. Interestingly, the ARMY community often displays an uncanny ability to read their idol's body language. Over the years of following BTS, many fans feel they have become quite familiar with each member's expressions and habits. Jungkook is known for being very expressive. He often shows his emotions spontaneously, whether it's joy, embarrassment, or even mild irritation. Therefore, when he's seen trying to hold something back, it's very obvious to fans who are used to seeing him. On the other hand, Jimin is known for his ability to maintain a warm atmosphere in any situation. He often acts as an emotional balance in many group interactions. Even during this broadcast, some fans felt that Jimin was trying to keep the energy positive. Interestingly, some fans felt that this moment demonstrated how close their relationship was. For them, Jungkook's expression wasn't a sign of conflict, but rather a sign that he felt comfortable enough to share his honest reaction. Others argued that fans might be overanalyzing the situation. In the world of live broadcasts, many small things can appear more dramatic than they actually are. Camera changes, staff direction, or even fatigue can affect a person's expression. But as is often the case in the BTS fandom, small mysteries like this actually became the subject of discussion that made the community even more lively. Fans from all over the world gathered to share theories, analyses, and, of course, hopes that they would see more interactions between Jungkook and Jimin in the future. Some fans even said that moments like this demonstrated the strong emotional bond between BTS and ARMY. Every little detail was noticed, every expression analyzed, and every interaction celebrated. Ultimately, whether Jungkook was truly upset during the GQ live broadcast can probably only be answered by the people who were in the room when it happened. Could have been just a fleeting moment that didn't have much significance. Or perhaps there was a small, behind-the-scenes situation we weren't aware of. What's clear, though, is that fans' reactions to this moment strongly demonstrate one thing. The relationship between Jungkook and Jimin remains one of the most compelling dynamics in the BTS world. Every time they appear together in front of the camera, fans always feel there's a deeper story behind their interactions. Whether it's through a chuckle, a fleeting glance, or even a look of annoyance that lasts only a few seconds. And perhaps that's what makes Jungkook so appealing to so many. It's not just the big, obvious moments, but also the small details that feel so human. In an entertainment world that often feels highly regimented and planned, spontaneous moments like these feel the most real to fans. They see two people who have grown together over the years, navigating various situations in their own ways. Was the staff really trying to separate them during the broadcast? Or was it just a misunderstanding magnified by camera angles and fan interpretations? That question will likely continue to be a topic of discussion within the ARMY community. But one thing is for sure. Every moment involving Jungkook and Jimin always manages to capture the attention of millions of fans worldwide. And as long as BTS continues to create new moments in front of the camera, fans will continue to watch, pay attention, and of course, try to decipher every little detail that might be hidden behind the scenes. As always, moments like this remind us why fans all over the world never stop paying attention to every small interaction between Jungkook and Jimin. Sometimes it's a smile, sometimes it's a glance, and sometimes it's an expression that lasts only a few seconds, but for ARMY, those tiny moments can spark huge conversations. Whether Jungkook was truly annoyed during the GQ Live, or whether it was simply a misunderstood moment caught on camera, one thing is certain. Every time these two appear together, fans can't help but watch closely. Their chemistry, their history, and the deep bond they've built over the years always leave people wondering what's really happening behind the scenes. And that's what makes Jikook moments so fascinating. They're real, unpredictable, and full of emotion, exactly the kind of moments that keep fans coming back again and again. But what do you think? Did Jungkook really look annoyed during the live? Or was it just another moment that fans might be overanalyzing? Share your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Jikook moments, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.